Hey listeners, Nat here. Welcome back to Cheers with Nat, the podcast dedicated to cheering on women in drinks. Today's guest is Amélie Tassin, founder of Tipple Marketing and Women in Beer. Amélie shares how she first found her way into marketing, what ultimately drew her into the world of beer, and how a small social group she started after moving to Scotland evolved into something much bigger. We also discuss what drives her, what helps her to rest and reset outside of work, and plenty more along the way. It's time for a cheers and a chat with Amélie Tassin. Here she is.
So I brought Dulcita IPA from Moonwick Beer Company. It's actually our latest international woman collaboration brewery collab that we've done with very new brewery with Moonwick, obviously, but we're also very new brewery from Glasgow called Mother Tongue and our friends from Glasgow, the Glass Lady Beer Society. So it is just fresh, just released a few days ago, and it's a very beautiful beer.
And a true collaboration. All right, let's get it in the glass. Let's give it a go. Oh, and it's not hazy. I was
It's
expecting
not.
it to be hazy. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Wow, a nice change. Cheers.
Cheers.
Super juicy,
Mm-mm.
like tropical fruit. I'm getting kind of starburst fruit candy
Absolutely.
vibes.
Yeah. A bit of coconut, a bit of tastes a bit like a sabro hop, but
Mm-hmm.
not really. A bit more delicate, I would say, a
Mm-hmm.
bit more floral. So I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's super fruity and juicy,
Yeah,
and then it goes into more coconutty,
yeah.
floral. So
Mm-mm.
you kind of have this metamorphosis of the aromas. Wow, and not hazy. I'm still like mind blown by that. A classic IPA with really interesting hops. Amazing. Oh, super fun. Great product of a collaboration
Mm-mm.
and amazing people that you brought together. So tell us a bit about what you do in the world of drinks and what a day to day might look like. I imagine your days are quite different. You do wear a lot of hats, but what are some of the things you get up to?
Well, so I'm the founder of Tipple Marketing. Tipple Marketing is a marketing agency, and we are the particularity of working only for the beer industry and beer and hospitality industry. And I'm also the founder of Women in Beer, and Women in Beer is well an organization, a collective of women who like beer. We are organizing meetups and events through the year, and we also organize a festival every 2 years. We run a mentorship program for women working in the industry, and we also launched an award ceremony, a Women in Beer Awards, last year.
So much to dig into there. And we're going to get to all of it.
Yeah.
But let's start by going all the way back to
Yeah.
little Amelie back in France. What did you dream you were going to be when you were thinking about your future? And do you see any parallels between that vision and what you do now?
Well, I can't really remember what I wanted to do when I was little, but I had that when I was like in high school. I really wanted to work in communication, advertising. So the market's not far. It's still what I do, but I was also very passionate by food and drinks. I was always going, it's like when I was like 17, 18, I was going on the road with my dad to visit a winery and distillery in the southwest. We were stopping in nice restaurants to have food. I had like the Michelin guide on my knees in the car. She
Yeah.
was just like, "Oh, let's go there.
Yeah.
That sounds nice." So we've done that a few years, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. The food, the details in the food, the passion of the people who run winery and distillery. It was, for me at the time, was not really the world of beer, because obviously independent and craft brewery in France at the time were very few. There's not developed at all
Yeah.
compared to
Really
what it is
taken off.
now.
Yeah.
So it was mostly through good beverage, good wine, good spirit, and good food that I went into that wishing and well to work in the food and drinks industry.
I love that vision of you in the front seat of the car, with the, the Michelin guide on your lap, picking out where to go. So this love of flavor, love of food, love of drinks. And then you mentioned you had this interest in communications and advertising. You got your start in marketing. So how did you make that transition into the world of marketing?
It's a bit of like a, I would say, opportunities. I started working in communication initially, and I had a very bad experience when I was like 25 or 26 years old. I've decided I will never work in communication anymore. Just like didn't want it to work in that world and done a few things and met someone from a recruiting agency. Basically, I was looking for a job. I was a bit lost, and she took the time to listen to me, to see what was basically what was blocking, and to not wanting to go back into that kind of work.
Yeah.
And she said, "Look, I know someone who worked for a marketing, like in a marketing department in a company. I'm gonna send you there. You'll see." And I've done one mission and a second one, and I fell back in love with more in marketing at that time, and I felt like really wanted to keep working there. So I left that company and I went in house, and that's it. And that was the start of my career in marketing after that.
Wow, isn't it amazing how one person can make a
Yeah,
difference? I'm already having this flash forward to the mentorship program because you're just like, this one person listened to me and helped me get back on
yeah,
track.
yeah.
And now think about how many people you're doing that for. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, we're going to come to that. So you're working in marketing, but then I read on LinkedIn, I mean, I've known you for years and I didn't realize this. You opened one of the first craft beer shops in
Yeah,
Paris
yeah,
while working full time. So
yeah,
you mentioned independent beer took a little while to get started in
yeah,
France.
yeah.
When it did, what makes you think, okay, well, in my spare time, I'm going to open a beer shop? How did that all come about?
Well, I was not on my own on that, obviously. Just like it was, well, my husband at the time, who was absolutely passionate about beer and who like kind of brought me to try more beer. I always been a beer drinker. I never came to the industry thinking like, oh, craft beer opened my taste or anything. I was drinking cheap beer, cheap lager from the supermarket, and I really like that.
Been there too, yeah.
But together, he full time, we opened that shop. I was doing like a bit of like accounting, marketing on the side for the shop,
Yeah.
working there in the evening, at the weekend, and we've done that for a while. And I think it was the right moment. In Paris at the time, we were like, I think we were like, yeah, we're one of the first at the time. There was one, and we opened at the same time as our second one as well. So we were like probably the second, third. Um, but people were really interested. They were coming to us like, obviously there was a big culture around Belgian beer in France, so they
Yeah.
were coming to get Belgian beer or German beer. But from when we opened back in like 2008 to when I left, effectively in 2017, 16, the stock that what we were selling had completely changed from 80% Belgian beer to 30% like British beer, 30% American beer, 20% like French beer. We had like, and very, very few in the end, Belgian and German beer,
Yeah.
because
Interesting.
we could
You
find that
saw
at
that
the
transition
supermarket.
in real
Yeah,
time.
exactly. It
Yeah.
was really interesting.
And while you were doing all this, you also, another thing I didn't know about you, got your MBA.
Yeah.
No wonder you're so successful. So tell me what drove you to get that qualification, your master's in business administration.
Well, so for my day job, I was working in marketing department for a big bank in France, and I was obviously already very much experiencing the gender pay gap. And at the time, I had just a bachelor degree, and so they were kind of justifying the fact that I was not paid the same wage as my male colleague, with the fact that I had not the diploma that was going to with my
The
role.
same qualification as them.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, well, I said, well, fair enough. If it's just that,
I'll go get one.
I'll go get one. And obviously, when I got one and came back and said, well, now I want to be paid the same, I said,
Where's that additional my salary?
well,
Yeah.
actually, you know, it's not how that work. We don't have the budget for blah 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 blah. So I said, okay, fair enough. Then I'm leaving.
Yeah,
And that's where I left to start up my own company.
Wow. So you left at that point, kind
Yeah.
of not only packing in the company, but packing in France and moving to the UK.
Yeah. So
Big
initially,
change. Wow.
was supposed to say just 4 months
Mhm.
in the UK. My English was not good at the time, so I needed like to learn English well and fast
Okay.
to start that company. I wanted to work in the spirits industry at the time, so like set up a marketing company who will work with little distillery,
Yeah.
the craft distillery with in France was booming.
Okay.
There was a lot of them like coming up and starting, and I think, well, they will need someone to do their marketing.
Yeah. And they wouldn't have the budget to have someone full time,
Exactly.
so you can do a day here, a day there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the idea was that. So it's like going to the UK, learn English in 4 months, like fluently, come back to France and start my company. But
And how long have you been in the UK now?
8 years?
Yeah. I was the same. I was like, I'll pop back over for 4 months
Yeah.
and then I'll move back to the States. It's been 10 years for me as well. Yeah.
It's yeah, it's a complicated country, but it's a very, very beautiful, lovely people and
Yeah.
amazing beer.
So you initially thought spirits, which
Yeah.
I also didn't know. What then pulled you into the world of beer, and what were some of those early projects you started doing
Yeah.
as a sort of freelance marketing
Yeah.
consultant?
Well, when I started to imagine my life in the UK, it was at the time very much the boom of craft brewery in the UK. Yeah, back in 2018, there's a lot of microbrewery opening, starting to be very recognized and important in the UK, which was clearly not the case yet at the time in France. It was a very, very young, like immature market at the time compared to the UK. And I realized that I had that experience working in beer. So I knew beer, I knew styles, I knew like the customer, and I had that experience working in marketing. So those experiences were very, very valuable in the UK at the time. So that's how I started working more in beer rather than distillery, which in Scotland at least,
They're pretty well
there's
established.
yeah, they're pretty well established. There is, I know I'm gonna break the heart of a lot of people, but there's zero independent or like close to zero independent
Distillery.
distillery
Yeah.
in Scotland. So they're all like owned by big group, international group, which is fine, but they have their own marketing departments. They
Yeah.
have their own big agency that work with them. They didn't need someone like me.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually then that marriage of, well, I used to run a beer shop, so I know all the brands and I know the world of beer, and I have this degree
Yeah.
in business and marketing. Let me bring those needs together and help you. Wow. So what made you want to formalize it then? Why go from doing the sort of freelance consulting to then founding Tipple a few years ago?
I think so. I started working freelance. Then I worked in house for a brewery in Scotland for a couple of years during COVID. Well, thankfully, I was employed at the time. And when I left, I wanted to go back working for myself, but I did not want it to work alone. So the idea of the agency, thinking, well, I will work with people in the agency, was something that was seducing me quite a lot. Just like building that multi-skill organization where I know what I'm good at, but I also
I
know
can
what
find
I'm.
a partner who
Yes,
fills in those gaps.
exactly.
Okay.
It was that idea as well, to be the one-stop shop for breweries and for organization work in beer, and being able to offer them a range of services that myself on my own could not have
Yeah. So the
been.
business is the one-stop shop, but it
Yeah,
doesn't mean you need to be the one-stop shop.
exactly.
So you've got Daisy Turnell working
Yeah,
with you, who then has the complementary skills
yeah.
that the business can offer. Amazing. What are some of the things that you do for these businesses that you work with? Is it mostly social media? Is it PR? What are the elements of marketing that these businesses need that maybe us as consumers aren't even thinking about? Of course, we'll think about the social because that's what we
Yeah.
engage with, but what else are you doing for these
So
businesses?
we do a lot of social media, of course. We do some PR. We do a lot of events management as well.
Oh, yeah.
Activation. We do that for people, finding the right person they can partner with for the right campaign, for the right activation. Obviously, we organize a lot of festival and events, which is personally my favorite part of the business. But
We're actually at a trade show today this morning, so I'm sure you're going to have your business eyes
no,
on when you walk
absolutely.
around later. Why are they doing this? What can I bring back?
But yeah, so we do a lot of that. We do also a lot of strategy for people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of very a lot of businesses that come to us and say, well, we know the context, the economic context is difficult in the UK. We know we need to do something for the brand, for the brewery to survive that very, very difficult context. But we have no idea what to do. So what should we do? Should we do some branding? Should we do some more this, social that? So we are here as well to help them navigate those time and find the right way
Yeah.
to be present, to keep being present, and to address the customer.
Yeah. So it's that idea of, yes, there are these challenges, but why do you stand out? Why
Yeah,
would a customer spend their money with
exactly.
you? What story are you telling? And then it's that kind of, when you're too close to it, you can't see that. So when
Exactly.
you bring in someone external, then they're able to say, ah, this is your unique selling point. This is a story you need to tell to the customer.
Exactly.
And that's
Mm-mm.
your happy place. Nice. Now, of course, this is not the only thing that keeps you busy. Let's talk about women in beer. So you mentioned it earlier, and it started back in 2018 as this kind of social group, right?
Yeah.
A way for you to chat with other women that enjoyed beer.
Yeah.
But it has grown and grown and grown, and you've added so many elements to it. So let's go back to the beginning. Tell me why you initially started it, and then we'll fold in the festival,
Yeah.
the mentorship program, the awards, and dig into all those pieces.
So, like you say, I started it because, well, Amélie moving to Scotland back in 2018. No friends, obviously, no connection.
Yeah. What a big leap, right? You committed to learn English,
Yeah.
yes. But then to relocate to this new city and be like, oh gosh, I don't actually know
Yeah.
anyone here. I'm an adult. You don't have the
Yeah,
university connections.
exactly.
You're
So,
working on your own.
yeah. So it was yeah, very selfishly a way of finding mates
Oh,
to go
it's
to the
turned
pub
into
with.
anything but selfish with what you've done with it.
But yeah, it was that. I was just like, well, let's start that group, find other women that want to go to the pub with me and drink beer and want to maybe learn a bit about it. And the first meetup we were 4, and now we're like more than 700 on the Facebook group. And
Isn't that
yeah,
incredible? From 4 to 700. And you've impacted so many more people than
yeah.
that, beyond those who were in the Facebook group.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. So what inspired the first festival?
At the time, every time we were going to the pub, we were very much, even though we were that group of women just like coming and drinking, there was always that question, oh, do you like beer? Or do you work in the beer industry, but you really like beer? Oh, just like it was
Keep
always
circling back to that one. You're like, why would
exactly,
I'm not forcing myself or
exactly.
torturing myself
Why
by
would
drinking
I be
this.
there
Yeah.
otherwise? And the idea was that. So I was like, do you even realize the number of women who work in the background in the beer industry?
Mm-hmm.
Brewing your beer, marketing your beer, selling your beer, managing the company. There are several, there are plenty, and we are there, but nobody sees us. So the main idea behind the festival was look at them, they're here. And behind your favorite beer at the bar, there might be a woman. And that's how we started. The idea was to bring a few breweries up to Edinburgh, invite them on panel discussion, let them talk about what they know, not talk about the fact of being a woman, but talk about what they know about the beer industry and what their skills in the beer industry. So it was very much visibility. It was creating role model for younger generation as well, to for them to imagine a career was possible in the beer industry as well.
Yeah. So all about that building awareness, visibility, giving people a bit of a platform
Yeah.
to share what they do and not just, I'm a woman. Yeah. I have expertise in XYZ
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
here to talk to you about
Mm-mm.
it. Yeah. So then from there, you added a mentorship program.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did that get started?
It's second edition of a Women in Beer Festival in Edinburgh. We've done that first seminar where we had a lot of panel discussion during the day, people coming, listening to those women talking about different topics. And we had that young brewer who was there on the day that was absolutely amazed by all the women and all who were there in the audience, but also on our panel discussion. And we went to the pub after the day and we're chatting with actually Jigga Wise and that young brewer. And she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's so eye opening for me to see all those women working there in my industry. I wish I was able to have access to that every day or like
To
to
regularly
discuss
engage with them, pick their brain.
exactly.
Okay.
And at the time, I was myself mentored through the business by a businesswoman from a local businesswoman in Edinburgh. And I was feeling that it was very much helping me with the beginning of the business. So I said, well, we should do that for beer. And that's how I started the mentorship.
Wow. And in what organization were you being mentored through?
It was a Barclays Accelerate Her.
Very nice. I see what they did there.
Yeah,
Wow. So from your experience, you
yeah,
thought there's so much value here. How do I then
yeah,
reproduce this for the beer industry?
absolutely.
And how do you reproduce it for the beer industry? How do you go about starting a mentorship program?
So, well, BeerX 2023 at the time. Well, yeah, and then I started mentorship probably.
Happy 3-year anniversary
Yeah.
here now.
So I basically went to all the stand here and went to chat with people who had sponsored the Women in Beer Festival before and said, well, I have that idea to launch a mentorship program. Would you like to support me doing that?
Yep.
And I went to a few suppliers and they said, yeah, if you do it, we'll be there. So
That's
I,
amazing.
yeah,
So you got the
started that.
funds, and then from your experience, you used
Yeah,
a similar approach to the mentorship program you'd been a part of, and then
exactly.
applied that to the world of beer.
And I then approached the woman that I thought would be amazing mentor. I remember you at the time approaching you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like Melissa Cole, people like Ruth Mitchell, Miranda Hudson. Yeah, a lot of different brewers and
We can actually go, I'll include in the show notes the link to the Women in Beer
exactly.
website, and you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
see
yeah.
the full list of mentors.
Jen Merrick as well,
Yeah.
who's an absolutely amazing brewer as well.
Yeah, right. And it wasn't just brewers. It
It
was
was,
people in
yeah,
education, people in marketing. It really spanned all of the roles people may be interested in the
exactly.
world of
Because
beer.
we don't all want to be a brewer.
Right? It's
I
not
mean,
just about making the beer.
exactly.
I agree with you 100% on that. No interest in making the stuff.
Exactly. I do like beer. I do like working around beer, but I would never want to be a brewer. And I feel that we also needed that, just like to break the kind of a habit of like just addressing brewer
Yeah, good point.
and female brewers. It's like it's great, it's amazing, and we need more female
We want more
brewer.
of those
But
too.
we
Yes.
want more people work in the supply chain. We want more scientists. We want more salesperson, marketing person.
Yep.
And also we want more brewery owner
Yep.
that are women. So the idea was to support women through wherever the choice of career they wanted to make
Yeah.
in the beer industry.
Yeah, and I'll soon be talking to, well, I've already spoken to one mentee. So I spoke
Yeah,
to Georgia
absolutely.
Kelly
Yeah, yeah.
recently, who was episode 1. Soon I'll be speaking to Elizabeth Townsend from
Oh,
Brew
she's
Brewing.
amazing. Yeah.
So I look forward to hearing her story. And I got to be a mentor as well for Molly Joyce. So it's
Absolutely.
a really positive, rewarding experience meeting someone a bit younger, newer to the beer industry, who has similar interests and kind of just wants to get a little bit of help to get
Yeah.
there. And
Mm-mm.
of course, we want to make it easier for people coming after us
Yeah.
and want to see more women doing what they love, following their passions.
Mm-mm-mm.
So yeah, it's been a really wonderful network to be a part of. And then to meet the mentees and see the work they're
Mm-mm.
doing, you're like, this industry is changing because of what you've created.
Well,
It's
thank you.
really impressive. Then I'm like, and more, and more, and more.
Yeah.
Then last year you added the Women in Beer Awards. Tell me all about the idea for that.
Again, just like it's stopping the imposter syndrome. So it's like celebrating
Yeah.
achievement. I was a bit fed up to come to a award ceremony and see only the same people winning and the same men. It's like I'm not saying they don't, yeah, they should not win or anything, but it was always the same shortlist. Always kind of I wanted a bit more, yeah, something a bit more like multidimensional, like into who's are showcased for those awards. And chatting with a few women, it's like, well, why you not just like putting yourself for that awards, or why are you putting someone else like forward for those? It's like, so oh yeah, I don't think I can, or I don't think I should. And it was like always like a love barrier from all the women I was talking to, just like why not? So if we create the awards are just for women, would you apply? I was like, oh, maybe. And there was award like for women in STEM. There was award for women in business. There was a lot of like women in something awards, but no woman in beer. So I said, let's start one and see it works and see if people are interested to apply for that award. And it's been absolutely overwhelming. So it's like the number of submission that we got on that first edition. We had like more than 200 submission,
Wow.
which was not expecting.
Yeah. I'm just really stuck on that mindset
Yeah.
shift that you said that it brought about.
Yeah.
That in a mixed gender awards, many women thought, why bother?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
Whereas when it was only women, they said, okay, I can throw my hat in the
Yeah.
ring. How interesting is that?
Yeah.
That we feel, as you said, that imposter syndrome so far away from the possibility of winning
Yeah.
that they won't even enter themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas if they feel in this space like, okay, well, I'm around my peers, then I can enter and maybe I'll have a shot.
Yeah.
Wow, what a big change. I hope it encourages more women to enter all
Yeah.
kinds of different
Oh,
award schemes now,
and yeah,
not just this
exactly.
one.
It's exactly that. Just like if you enter this one, or if you've been nominated, you won this one, why wouldn't you want the other one?
Yeah. Yeah, so you're kind of almost giving this as a bit of a stepping
Yeah.
stone. Let's recognize you in
Yeah.
this space, but then I hope it
Mhm.
encourages you to take that
Yeah.
next step to apply for the next award scheme too. Wow. And it was such a fun party. Oh
Yeah.
my God. The evening was an amazing celebration. This was
Well,
last
sold out
October.
events, like
Well, you are a great events
absolutely.
manager, right? You're
I
now
was not
wearing all the
expecting this
hats.
one as well.
Yeah. So for you, as we've discussed, it went from this idea of a social group, adding in the festival, adding in the mentorship, adding in the awards. What is it that drives you to keep taking these next steps, to add these new
I
elements?
don't know, just like I think because I'm a very impatient person, and I think the industry is not catching up.
It's not moving
It's not,
fast enough
yeah,
for you.
exactly. So, well,
So you'll encourage it along.
yeah, but it's a bit that it's just if nobody's doing it, well, I'm gonna do it because I don't want to wait.
And I think a lot of people get stuck there.
Mm-mm,
Nobody else is doing it. I'd love to be the one to do it, but they are scared, or
mm-mm,
maybe they have that
mm-hmm.
imposter syndrome. What is it that you think has made you been able to make those changes and push yourself where other people may recognize that need for change but not take the steps that you've
I don't
taken?
know. I don't know. I don't really know. I think
Yeah.
I
You're like, it's just me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like if nobody's gonna do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't like how do you always say in English? Forgot injustice.
Oh,
Like
and yeah, injustice.
injustice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like injustice. I don't
Yeah, you're
like
seeing things be
people.
unfair,
Yeah,
and you're like, I can't just
yeah.
sit by.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Needs to change.
Yeah. Well, you have been recognized for your hard work. Last year at the Brewers' Choice Awards, you took home Diversity and Inclusivity Champion. How did it feel to have your work recognized? I mean, to me,
It
it seems like you're like, well, it's just me. I just do it. Now the industry's
it
seeing the impact you've had. How did that
yeah.
feel?
It was absolutely amazing. It was fantastic. I always because I think because I'm so far away up in Scotland of like everything that's coming and that's wrong like
Down in London. Yeah.
down on it. I always feel like nobody sees what I do, nobody sees and to get that award was absolutely fantastic. Just I'm very much someone who's doubting everything I'm doing and it's very, very nice to have people say, well, thank you and well done.
Yeah.
The little girl in inside me that's like I'm happy to have a praise as well. It's I think it excites a lot of us.
Yeah. It's funny you say there, I'm doubting everything I'm doing. So you still have
Yeah,
those concerns too. You're just not letting them stop you.
yeah,
You just don't have the time to sit around and wait for someone else to do it. You
exactly.
just got to keep going. Now, we've talked a lot about the positives, and I will dig a little bit further into the
Mhm.
impact because I'd love to hear what you see the impact has
Yeah,
been. But let's get the hard stuff out of the way first. So what have been some of the challenges that none of us have seen, all the behind the scenes
it's
stuff?
the main challenges. What all we do is money.
Yeah.
Is having someone, having people who support the organization and what we do in a climate that is difficult for everyone, where all main sponsor, supplier, malting company, hops company are suffering with an industry that is a bit slower than it used to be. So it is difficult to get funding to do what we do, and I don't work for free.
Yeah.
I refuse to work for free, and because I think we women have done that too long. And the people who help me with Women in Beer, they don't work for free as well. So that's when I ask
Yeah,
a
mentees get
designer,
paid. Yep.
exactly, when I ask a designer to do a logo or to do a poster, we pay them.
Sorry,
Or
I
mentors.
should have said their mentors get paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mentors are paid for their time, because if some of them can offer their time, it's not the case of everyone. And if the mentorship wants to be inclusive, it needs to be inclusive also with their mentor. And some of their mentor can't afford, they work for as a freelance, they can't afford to spare 1, 2, 3 hours of their time for free, and they shouldn't. We also pay for travel and accommodation of our mentees when we ask them to go to their WCT qualification, for example, or when we invite them to do some field trip to network with their peer. Because again, if we only offer those chance to people that can afford it, we're not changing the system.
Yeah.
We're again reproducing the same thing.
Yeah.
And having the same kind of people accessing the chance and the possibility that we can offer. So we are paying for that, because we need to have people coming from all backgrounds, and it's very important.
Yeah. So as you said there, the goal is changing the system.
Mm-mm.
What changes have you seen as a result of your work?
Well, I think yeah, I again, just like I think people see the change more than me.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you, right? Like we were talking about earlier,
Yeah, yeah.
being able to see the brand across.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's I see a lot of our mentees that are doing absolutely amazing things. I think you were talking about Elizabeth Thompson. She's an absolute star. What she's doing with a brewery, and it's great to see. We see other women just like Lucy, for example, from Closet Brewing Project, who's one of our mentees. What she's doing with a brewery in Edinburgh is fantastic. So I hope we're a bit of help, we're a bit of support for them, that our community as well has helped them just like takes shortcuts and makes things easier for them and to their job. But yeah, I'm really happy to see some mentees going in other company, finding other job, getting promotion. So it's great. It's great to see all of that. So I hope, obviously, they are talented initially. They are like absolutely all amazing women. But I hope we help along the way to make things a bit easier for them.
Yeah. Nice. So you clearly do a lot for others. How do you stay grounded outside of work? What restores you?
Yoga.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Any other hobbies or
Yeah,
passions?
walking the dog. Yeah, being with my partner, yeah, walking, yeah, and the dog, and yeah, a lot of things like that. Just like I'm lucky enough to live close to the sea, so it's great to go for a nice walk in Edinburgh and see a bit of nature, a bit of yeah, a bit of water as well.
Yeah, I feel like
So
on your Instagram, it's always you out for
yeah,
walks.
yeah,
Yeah. And I agree, like being somewhere by the water, even right now where we're recording, we're at
yeah,
Albert Dock in Liverpool, we're right on the water. There's something
mm-mm,
so calming
yeah.
about it that allows you to just easily reset.
I think yeah, it needs to, yeah, it is, obviously it's very stressful. Women in Beer, the company, so I need peace and quiet to reset, and yeah, so I think walking and yoga is helping very
Yeah.
much.
And you can get that, I think, more easily in Edinburgh than some
Yeah,
other bits of the UK. Really nice,
absolutely.
calm, little,
Mm-mm.
beautiful, picturesque part of the world. Okay, last question before we get to our last call. We talked about what got you into working into the drinks industry. Again, you with your Michelin map on your lap, thinking about all those restaurants and wineries you wanted to visit. What is it that keeps you here?
People. I love the people, their passion. We're very lucky to work with something that is so emotional and so artistic, like drinks, like making of a drink, and that provokes so much emotional reaction to people as well. It's a fantastic industry. It's yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, I was walking home from my gym just the other day, and on the way home, I passed one brewery, so I'm smelling the
Mm-mm.
wort. Then I passed a second brewery, and then I passed a coffee roaster, and I was like, I can't believe I'm in this little
Yeah,
bit of East
yeah,
London where people are actually still making things.
mm-mm.
You know, it's not just this industrial world
Yeah,
where we're removed, and there are people behind it,
yeah,
there are places behind it. there's someone doing this on a small scale because they love it.
Mm-mm.
And it was a really nice little realization. And yeah, you have impacted so many people and connected with so many people that it makes sense that that's what's keeping you here. Okay, last call. Quick questions, quick
Yeah.
answers. Do you have a favorite beverage-related book, podcast, or program?
I'd say it's a difficult question. I really like, there's a lot of publication in the UK that I really like Pellicle, for example, but I wish I would find something that is closer. We have format in France where people go talks to the maker. It's obviously not about drinks because it's illegal to do that in France on radio, on TV. But I wish we had in the UK something that is more of a discovering people, discovering the behind. So it's like going, for example, on TV, just like in a brewery and chatting with people and drinking and appreciating a bit more.
Is this
Yeah.
going to be your next project? You're always looking for new
Or
ideas.
yours, maybe.
Video is too much fun. I'll leave that to someone with that expertise. Nice. So you've got ones you enjoy, but you're kind of like, there's a gap to be filled. And someone needs to create these beverage-related programs.
Mm-mm.
Okay, we're putting that out to the universe. What are you streaming or reading at the moment?
So I am quite a fan of fantasy and that kind of thing, and I'm reading The Witcher at the moment in French.
Have I heard of that? Did that become a movie?
That become like a TV show.
TV show.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you can do the TV show after. See how that
Yeah.
Do you have a dream drinks destination you want to visit?
I would like to go to Tokyo.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
For beer, sake,
Whiskey.
spirits, all the above? Yeah, for the whiskey.
Yeah.
Nice. Celebrity you'd like to share a drink with?
So I'm not massive like a kind of celebrity kind of, I don't know, just like I don't know them, so I'm not sure I would like to
yeah
to share a drink with
I
them.
need to change this question because someone was like, are they a celebrity? I'm like, just anybody you want to share a drink with.
I don't know.
That you haven't met in real life. Yeah.
That I haven't met in real life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know. Yeah.
You're like, I got 700 plus women in my Facebook group.
It's not. I think. Yeah. If I want to have a drink with someone, I would make it happen.
Great take. I love that. All right, last question. I think I know what the answer will be. If you could drink one beverage other than water for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Coffee.
You were gonna say beer.
No. I think I do like beer. I really like beer, but I think I could not function without coffee. So
that's too funny.
So
like, priorities.
No, it would be coffee.
You're like I got a lot of work to get done, so I need a lot of coffee. Oh, that's too funny. All right, you surprised me there. That was great. Okay, well, we can enjoy the rest of our beer now. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Don't miss Amelie's edition of Guess Bess on my Instagram @cheers_with_nat to hear about some of her favorite hospitality hotspots. I'll be right back in your feed next Wednesday with a brand new episode of Cheers with Nat. Cheers.